Hi, this is Alethea Setzer, and I am going to show you how to create a quiz on Google Forms. First, go into your Charleston County Gmail account, then click on the waffle in the upper right corner to get your Google Apps. I need to click on More and go to Forms. If you don't see Forms here, you need to click on Even More from Google and find Forms and add it to your doc. Then you're going to choose a blank quiz form. If you don't choose quiz, you can actually change it to quiz later in the settings. Then you're going to type the name of your quiz. You can give your form a description. Then you can go to the first question. I like to make the first question name, so the student can give their name there. Google was smart enough to realize it needed to be short answer. If you wanted to change that, you could change it here. I would make that a required question by clicking the required in the bottom right corner, and you don't need to add an answer key to their name. You can actually add a new section here if you want to separate the name from the first question. For example, if you wanted to give this section to be your math questions, maybe it's a review for your MAP test. And then you could give that a description if you want. To add a question, click the plus symbol and give it a question. I also like to number the questions. Google will not number the questions for you automatically, so make sure you do that. The easiest questions to create are multiple choice questions, but again, you can change those if you like. And then you can type your answers in the box, give several answers, just as you would on a multiple choice quiz that any teacher would create. And then click Required in the bottom right corner and click Answer Key. On the Answer Key, then you can choose the correct answer and assign it a point value. Now, if we want to add another question in our math section, we'd simply push plus. And again, you could add a short answer. You could add a drop-down box and add your answers. Again, make it required and go to your answer key and choose the correct answer. You would continue to do this with all of your questions. You could even add a different section. Maybe you're reviewing for MAP and you want this section to be a reading question. Type your answers. Oh, I forgot to number that one. Let's go back and number that one. Again, you can make it multiple choice. You could make it short answer. That's something you would want to play around with. Make it required and choose your answer in the answer key. Then when you are finished, you can make your quiz look pretty. If you go up to the top and click on the color palette, you can change the color of the top of the screen and your theme throughout. I like to choose a real theme, so it's not just a blank generic color. If you click this button in the bottom right corner, You can choose through different themes. Now it takes a while for these to load the first time, so give it a few minutes. You can click on the left side and get the different categories. And then you can choose a theme that goes with what you have made or just what looks fun. Then you can go to Settings, and on Settings you can decide how you're going to collect your answers. Are you going to collect their email addresses? I don't usually do that with kids. I usually send it through a link on Google Classroom. If you restrict it to Charleston County School District users, that would keep their parents from doing it. I mean, unless they have their login at home, obviously. I also like to choose limit to 1 response so kids won't take the quiz more than once. Can they edit their responses? Maybe you gave it as a practice quiz, you want them to try again. And do you want them to be able to see a summary of the charts and the text responses of everyone? Probably not with kids. If it was teachers and they were taking a survey about something, then that's a possibility. Individual students, I wouldn't suggest that. Then your presentation mode. Do you want to show a progress bar? I like to know how far I've gone in a quiz. I have a lot of kids that ask me how many questions are left, so that's nice. Shuffle question order is great unless you put name at the top of the page, but that keeps the kids from copying off of each other. And you're not going to be able to show a link to submit another response, because on general I chose that they could only show 1 response. For confirmation message, I like to type, make sure to click show your score, or students don't know to click to see what they have done. Then we can click on the quizzes, make this a quiz. It already is a quiz. That's where you could change it if you just did a regular Google form that wasn't a quiz at first. And then to release the grade, is it going to be immediate or later after you look at it? I choose immediate. You can mess around with that and see what you prefer. So now your quiz is ready to send. This one looks like it gave me the answer key. There you go. You can actually add answer feedback as well. So you could say, nice job, try again, or are you sure? Do you want to check your answer? You can also add links there after they didn't know 2 plus 2. Maybe you could show them an interactive of 2 plus 2, or if you're asking them what planet we live on, you could show them a picture of Earth on the feedback. So that is very helpful. Now, how to send your forms, click on the send button, and you can send it via email. Maybe if you were sending it to some teachers, you could send it using a link, which is what I usually use with my kids. Or if you wanted to embed it in a blog or a website, you would use the HTML. I use the link mostly, and I click shorten so it gives me a much shorter URL for the kids to copy. Then click copy. And then you can paste that into your Google Classroom. You can paste it on a blog that you have, and kids could click there to use it. If you're going to send it to teachers in Charleston County, you just type their name. You could say what it is, and you could include the form inside of the email, which I think looks professional, and they don't have to go to a different place to answer. A lot of teachers don't like clicking on links, but they'll fill out a form right inside of their email, and then click send. And then when you go into your email, or when that teacher opens their email, they should see the quiz. It doesn't look as pretty when you send it inside the email. You won't see the nice theme. You'll see the color. And then you can answer the quiz. Oops, looks like I need to fix that. I would always suggest checking your work. It looks like I have a blank question in there. And I will click submit. It will ask the student, make sure to click to see your score. Click view your score so they can see what they got right and what they got wrong, which is a nice feature. Now I'm going to go back and fix that one that had an error in it. And I'm not sure how you feel about having different sections. If you decide you don't like that section, you can always click the 3 lines and say merge with the above section. So it would all be one quiz. And here's the question I had that I didn't want. So to get rid of that question, you would just click the little trash can and delete that question. Again, if I wanted to merge this with the section above, I could click my 3 dots and say merge with above, or I could duplicate a section, and that is it. So the nice feature about Google Forms is I can go to the responses and I could see a summary of all my class's responses. Obviously, there's only been one respondent, and that was me, and I can see how many people got it right, how many people got it wrong, to see if I need to reteach a concept. I can also look at individual responses from each kid, and it will show me what they did, and I can download it actually into a spreadsheet to see everyone's name and answers inside of a spreadsheet, which is nice if I need to now go and enter it into PowerSchool or into my gradebook. If you have any questions, please feel free to email me at Alethea_Setzer, that's ALETHEASETSER at charleston.k12.sc.us, and I'm happy to answer any of your questions that you have. Good luck with Google Forms.